Hey guys, it is Cyclone here. I wanted to make this video about the Princes of Kakin, really as a discussion video, but also kind of just a way to look at the story from a larger thematic lens, just to also help maybe people connect more to these characters because I know a lot of people are disinterested in this arc or find it just too much, or these are side characters. And hopefully, maybe with a discussion like this, you can see that these characters really do have some symbolism and meaning to the narrative being told to us. Now, the whole Kakin succession war in itself is a breakdown about society, the caste systems, inequality, birthrights, royalty. The Kakin princes are born into this stuff, and with that, we see the pros and the cons of being a royal, of royal bloodline. On one hand, you are a prince. You could be a king, but you also have to partake in this mandatory succession war. So the idea of basically a forced situation based on your bloodline and bloodline in your destiny is a big part of this plot line. If you look at it, the Ant arc also talked about your destiny in a way in evolution. Now, the only problem is that the Princes of Kakin's evolution is you're all going to die, except for the one person who's fit enough to survive. That's pretty freaking sadistic, you know? So their form of destiny is fulfilling the requirements of these games. That's the destiny they have. It's those who can defy that destiny and become king who are the winners. So just to break down more of a thematic look at these princes, they actually all represent facets of humanity and society. And I wanted to break this down more to help people maybe connect to characters or see them a certain way. And this is, again, just my thoughts from having read the story and looking at these characters as, archetypes of the human condition. So let's start off with number one, Benjamin. If we look at Benjamin, the main theme of Benjamin appears to be duty or responsibilities, or really, it is militaristic might, but I'd say the word is duty. All of Benjamin's men are in the line of duty. They are on the war front. These guys are in the games. They are serving Benjamin's plan, and they will die to help Ben and the war strategy succeed. This is all military duty to me. So Benjamin he's military might, he's honor and duty to your cause. But again, I feel like they are loyal to the cause of Benjamin and making him king. To Benjamin himself, not so much. I don't really feel that connection. This is all black and white. These guys are trying to make Ben king. You could replace Ben with somebody else in the same position of power, and if they were on track to be number one, then his men would probably follow. Now, Benjamin's done a great job at making this kind of a process so that, Kakin military who do become loyal to him, graduate from the academy, they go through a process to become his guard. He sees through that whole process those who really have earned their stripes and then serve him. And that whole mentality, it's like, becoming part of a team, you're serving a cause. So Benjamin really does emphasize the idea of duty and responsibility to your cause, to your mission. And I just look at him that way. Now, if you go to Camilla, Camilla is like almost the polar opposite. While it is a mission, and Camilla also got a sense of camaraderie, she actually used the power of death and despair to obtain followers. Helplessness, depression, sorrow. But I really think Camilla, of this whole arc, is the Grim Reaper. She is death. Camilla is death and despair. That is what she represents. Her Nen ability is all about dying. The curse ability she researched and perfected with her followers. This whole thing is based in the death traditions of Kakin, the burial traditions. This is all about death, grim despair and death. Camilla, by far, is the bleakest of all the characters. Just because, first of all, her Nen ability was based around dying. And guess what? My theory is that if you have an after-death Nen ability, the only way to really test it is to die. So she probably had someone kill her to test her cat ability. I mean, this is what's crazy about Camilla's death and Camilla's ability. She's actually already died, but she came back because she is death. She is death. She is death in a lot of ways. And it's like no one but herself can kill herself. She will have to choose to kill herself. And that is the responsibility of being the Grim Reaper. No one but Camilla can kill herself. That would be fascinating. Now, some people argue she can die of natural causes, starvation, drowning, if there's no perpetrator, accidental death. But that also means that Camilla can't be assassinated. And she herself controls the power of death. So I really do think she's like the Grim Reaper. And well, we've seen that with Ahsoka too. So we're getting these like zombie vibes in the story. It's really fun. Zheng Li, I mean, this one's pretty straightforward. Greed. Greed, 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 greed. Not only does Zheng Li have the Wheel of Fortune as his Nen Beast, I mean, this thing literally is like Pat Sajak, the Wheel of Fortune. This thing will grant you abilities if you hold its coin and do certain tasks. That's greed. That's giving you prizes and money and power. But then Zheng Li himself is connected directly to the Zhiyu family. That is a mafia family. That is a whole thing of greed. And Zheng Li is just waiting for the moment. And my theory is that the Zhiyu family are going to align themselves with Zheng Li to prop him up as king. And they're going to become a big force to be reckoned with. So that's my theory. And Zheng Li, while he's quiet and reserved, internally, it's all about him and greed. And he's going to get that greed. He's going to get that power. But he really does analyze the situation. And people aren't really loyal to him. There's not really, I don't see that. I see people looking for monetary opportunity, power opportunities. It's greediness. It's greediness, 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 and consumption of greed. So I feel like that's Zheng Li's character. Okay, we're going to actually skip the next one. We're going to go down the list. Tubeppa, all about knowledge. Technology and knowledge and modernization. I mean, she is the scientist, right? So Tubeppa is all about knowledge and modern science. Innovation. I really can't think of any other. She's so industrial. She's so modern and advanced in the sciences. She is science. Tubeppa is knowledge and science, in my opinion. And you can even go as far as saying mathematics, education. But she is the stout chemist, educated type. Went to MIT, went to Harvard. That sort of thing. This is Tubeppa, the educated, master of all sciences and mathematics and knowledge. Kind of a square character, but we'll see what her chameleon can do. Hopefully, we do get to see it. Really, spit out some awful chemicals that will brainwash people or some shit. Who the hell knows what that chameleon can make? It's gonna be crazy. Tyson, fame, admiration, fame, celebrity. That's what Tyson is. Tyson is your A-lister. Tyson is your world-famous publisher and author, your playwright, your movie director, your celebrity. Tyson is fame. Fame, and recognition. That is Tyson's gig. The Book of Tyson gets admiration from the followers. Her Nen Beast feeds off of that, admiration. And then people start to become loyal to what she does. People worship her. It's a little bit of a god status with Tyson. So in this war, she's trying to put herself on a pedestal. And while she acts all nice and bubbly, we all understand there's a motive here. While she may not seem like super sophisticated, inside I bet you that she's a real thinker. And we just haven't seen her dark side yet. I do want to see more development on Tyson. But yeah, Tyson's all about fame. Fame, recognition, and the like. Loserous. Now, this one, again, because Loserous has not really been developed super super much in the story. Like, I need to see more from Lazarus. But we do know he's connected to the Char. I believe it's the Char family. And within that, you know, you could argue that he's just like Zheng Li. He's greedy, but no. He's sort of an artist in a way. He likes rapping. He likes music. He likes drugs. So for me, Lazarus is more about pleasure, leisure, enjoying the small things. You know, this guy, yeah, he has a dark side, but he'd be more than happy to smoke a joint and talk about life with you. This guy's all about leisure and pleasure. He also had this big screen TV in his chamber. It looked like a really luxurious lounge. I just feel like this guy's the dude who wants to chill and like not is necessarily super motivated to kill a lot of people, but he likes the pleasures and he likes the leisure. So he's all about that, in my opinion. Could you call it laziness? I don't necessarily agree with that, but I feel like he is the most laid back and he likes the little pleasures and obviously the drugs. But like that to me is that personality. Saleh, rip, but Gluttony. I mean, that one's pretty obvious. This guy was just sitting in a bed, eating food and eating girls. I mean, this guy is all about gluttony. And his Nen Beast couldn't be more appropriate. You know, and he makes other people want to consume him in a way like they can't get enough of him. Like he's a big, you know, bubbly dessert, and they just keep licking him. Like that's the type of he is Gluttony, and the women were attached to him like crazy because of his Nen Beast. It's all about consumption and gluttony with Saleh. And then Predator ate his beast. Would you go figure the symbolism there? He got eaten. The gluttony guy got eaten. So that was a fun way to go. Hulkenberg. I mean, this one's pretty obvious. Loyalty. Hulkenberg was loyal to his family, didn't want to kill them. His men are loyal because of the feather ability from the Nen Beast. He requires his men's loyalty to activate his powers. He's also loyal to, you know, his bloodline and even his father. And while he did break the rules technically to go and get to his father, it was due to an act of loyalty to this overall, you know, the family. He's loyal to the family. He's loyal to, and his men are loyal to him because of his personality. He's all about loyalty. Everything about Hulkenberg is loyalty. So if Hulkenberg is to turn, it would be a really interesting character development, and he's already kind of going on the offensive. So this loyalty could become a weapon of mass destruction on floor 1. Because he's so loyal to the cause, he may just start getting everything done in the name of this cause, you know, to become king and remove this stupid succession war and stop this tradition, and that's what he wants to do. So Hulkenberg, though, as an archetype, he's all about loyalty. Kacho and Fugetsu, I mean, the Nen ability also kind of shows this trust. It's all about trust, sisterly trust, a sisterly bond. These two characters are all about trusting one another and helping one another. And because they're sisters, it only makes sense that this archetype would be given to them. I mean, if they were at odds with each other and really didn't like each other, it wouldn't make sense. You know, this is such a horrible situation to be in. You got to find any friend, any family you can. And these two have the highest level of trust in the series. In fact, their Nen tunnel requires both individuals to work. One creates the tunnel, the other one can open and close the door. That's the highest level of trust that we've seen in this succession war. These two, and obviously what Kacho did, and the Nen Beast ability, one of the most pivotal moments of the entire arc. The Nen Beast became Kacho because Kacho knew that Fugetsu trusted her and needed her. And that's why the Nen Beast became Kacho. That's why that whole chapter was nuts. In retrospect, when you go look back at those actions, this is all about trusting someone else. And the love that shares. I mean, you could say it's love and sisterhood, But I feel like trust is just the harder hitting message. It is pure trust in someone else. Momose, Miriam, and Wobble are too young. And Rip Momose, they're just innocents. Innocence, and, you know, not knowing the world, not knowing what's really going on. Now, Wobble, what's great about Wobble is he appears to have some darkness surrounding him. Obviously, it's not under his control, but that darkness, that innocence, that lack of wit, that lack of knowledge, development could lead to disaster. So that whole thing of being innocent, it might not last. Now, you could also say Miriam and Momose had an element of sorrow, sadness, because of Momose's death. So, yes, and Miriam's reaction, was just heartbreaking. You know, he created a separate dimension of Nen, and he distanced himself almost subconsciously from the world, and that is sad. That's depression and sorrow. But I still feel like the characters themselves, they're just too young to be, like, you say they have a personality. No, that's the closest I can get to Momose and Miriam. And Wobble's just a baby, so I can't really say that, like, he has any personality. Now, let's get to the real big one here. Serednich. Oh, yeah. We all know what this one is, guys. It's all about destiny. It's all about fate. Serednich is writing his fate to become king. Now, you could also argue that Serednich likes killing and murder and evil, but honestly, I almost feel like Serednich does all of this to secure his destiny, his fate. He puts things on his body, like people's skin and shit. Like, it's a part of him now. He believes he is the ultimate future, the destiny of himself. It's a very complex character. Very complex character. And the more we're getting on how his Nen works now, I mean, he is destiny. He's the destined one. He's learning Nen so quickly. You know, those whores he sleeps with, they're disposable trash. Serednich's destiny. He is going to be king. That's what I see in Serednich's character. The ultimate fate. So, yeah. Those are all the princes. Wow. I got through it all. I got through it all. But I hope this video helped you guys in just looking at the thematic structure of the arc in a more, like, coherent way than just these random side characters. Like, no, all of these characters have very large themes tied to them that kind of depict parts of humanity, elements of humanity. If you, for example, look at how Halkenberg's loyalty is being shaken, and he's now actually going on the offensive, that makes Halkenberg's character more interesting to me. Same way that, you saw Kacho Fugetsu's trust go so far as to sacrifice oneself for the other. That's how far trust took that. And then the Nen Beast is even continuing that feeling of trust in death. And that's a huge thing for Fugetsu's character now, because that level of trust has been set up. So, Zheng Li with greed, once the Mafia gets involved, which I have no doubt they will, the GU, Zheng Li is going to become, I think, a dark, dark individual. This is all being set up for a great arc, guys. They've already had some amazing moments, but with these themes in place, you can kind of look at the story and hopefully break things down a little bit more and get attached to the ideas of each character. Anyway, guys, that's Cyclone signing. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you around for more Hunter x Hunter.